As a newer player to GTA Online, it can be hard to know what vehicles to buy. There's such a huge array of options at so many price points, so in this video I want to go over a handful of the best, relatively cheap vehicles that got me through the beginner stages of the game, so let's get straight into it. First, let's take a look at cars and motorbikes. As a beginner or just someone on a bit more of a budget, there are actually some really good options. The first car I'm going to recommend is actually an armoured one because it's the armoured Kuruma. Now this car is certainly not cheap, it's on sale at the time of filming, however it's usually $525,000, which is a lot, but will be completely worth it. There is cheaper stuff coming, by the way. Because the Kuruma is armoured but also a sports car, it becomes a bit of a do-it-all vehicle. It's definitely not best in class in terms of its handling and acceleration, although it's not bad, so it's pretty decent for getting around the map. Due to its armour though, it's also great for running missions such as Headhunter, because you're pretty much untouchable from bullets when inside. It's also got space for 4 players, so it's practical, and it's a sports car, so you can also use it in heists. Next up is the Elegy RH8, and I kind of have to recommend it because it's completely free for all players. As long as your GTA Online account is linked to a Rockstar's social club account, you can pick this one up at no charge, and it's not even a bad car. Without any modifications, it's already got some pretty decent stats, and with some cheap mods, you can make it look better and go a bit faster. Its handling is also incredibly good, so it's great for getting around, can hold its own in races, and it's free, so why the hell not? The next vehicle, which is a bit of a must-have in my opinion, is the Pegasi Batty 801. This motorbike is very fast, handles well, and is cheap to upgrade. Now, generally motorbikes aren't great for free play because it's very easy to get griefed and you can take a lot of damage from crashing. The reason this bike is a must-have though is because it can nail the weekly time trial. If you don't know, every week you can have a go at a free play time trial event. There's a target time to beat, and if you can beat it then you get a pretty neat 100 grand, which for newer players is a lot of money considering the time trials only take 2 minutes. As long as you don't crash, the 801 can easily beat the par times in these events, and because this bike is only 15 grand, it's a must have for pretty much anyone. Going back to cars, if you do want to spend a bit of money on one, then I'd recommend the Inverto Coquette, which generally has good performance for a very reasonable price tag of 138 grand from Legendary Motorsport. It's one of my personal favourites at this price point because it's got some really nice customization options, and its top speed is also pretty damn good. I find that the handling is also on par with some more expensive cars. I'd say it's as good as the Grotti Turismo R, which is 500 grand. I could also recommend the Benefactor Feltzer. It's 140 grand from Legendary Motorsport, and it has solid stats across the board. It's pretty similar to the Inverto, and while I don't like it quite as much, it's a very good beginner car if you're looking for a slightly different look. To round off the land vehicles, I just wanted to give a quick mention to the Duco Death, which is another armoured car. It's pretty similar to the Kuruma, however it's a muscle car, so its handling is generally worse and it only has 2 seats. It does have a better top speed though, and it can do wheelies, which is a pretty cool party trick. It's also a bit more expensive at 665,000, which is a lot, however it's a great option if you really like muscle cars. The main reason I mention it though is because it's free for returning players who have played GTA before on a PS3 or Xbox 360. Now when it comes to air vehicles, I'd say a helicopter is a must-have, although due to the price they're pretty inaccessible to beginner players. You should however think about saving up for one. The cheapest helicopter is the Maverick, and it can be found on a lighthouse travel for around 700k, however I really don't recommend it. You can find helicopter spawns of this exact model or similar if you look in the right places, and the other downside to this chopper is that whenever you want to use it, it will spawn up to a mile away on the nearest airfield. Now this isn't too bad, however after a while it gets annoying, which is why I'm going to recommend the Sparrow or the Buzzard instead. These are both 1.8 million, which is an absolute truckload for very new players, although you should save up for one of them because they're really good. They have all the weapons you could want alongside the ability to spawn them right next to you, which is very beneficial in many scenarios. The Buzzard is slightly more versatile as you can have both machine guns and missiles equipped at the same time, although the Sparrow is more agile. You will also need a submarine to be able to buy the Sparrow, which is a pretty big catch, although a helicopter is more of a long-term goal anyway. I should also mention that while some of the planes look tempting, please stay away from them. For less than $500,000, some of them look pretty appealing, although trust me, you'll regret it because they don't handle very well and are a nightmare to take off and land unless you want to spend quite a bit of money. Anyway, that's all for this video. I really hope it's been useful. I've tried to be quick and straight to the point and if you like that format, then a sub to the channel would be absolutely amazing. But that's everything, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.